What's up, guys? It is Skater Novice 91, and in this video, we're going to be talking about a few topics that seem to be going around now that things are changing in our society, our culture, and such. It seems that a lot of red pill men are starting to become more apparent in the world as men portray these qualities, even if they don't completely believe in the ideas of certain supporters of that movement and video partners and video actors. I just call them video performers, whatever, people on YouTube. It's just that everything seems more like a polarity between feminism, red pill, and people that are just looking at the horizon of formation of the their own version of the truth, and everyone has their own version of the truth, definitely, such as that a lot of red people believe men should be the one that's at the top, being alpha, being the one that's in control of the relationship, always calm at all times, able to deal with his stress and his problems. And this also goes for the people in the feminist group that feel like men are cheap, men, and if they don't have money, why should we even have them in our life? And I can go for a more high quality man that has money, has power, has sources, all this type of jazz, and they don't want to be traditional. But that, I'm not saying that's true. That's how the men see it. But I haven't really looked into the feminist perspective, but more and more as I'm looking through it, women don't really. Some women get it why men are becoming this way, but there is a statistic that I don't know is necessarily true that says that men are like 63% of men are single and 30% of women are single or something like that. It's still a big number if you pay attention to it, but a lot of people just normally like has a causal effect, basically like thinking that, oh, it's like that, no big deal, or it is like that, damn, there has to be a change. So here is other points of view. Absolutely. So it seems that in the red pill community, anti-hypergamy, that's what I would like, that's what I call it. I don't really agree in that perspective at all, but seems that a lot of them are pickup artists that like to go out of their way to meet women and not be in the trap. It's like a trap where they can never really talk with a woman, communicate with a woman, and they're stuck in their house, and they would consider themselves beta orbiters, or in the perception of hypergamy for women, and their own role models and their way of thinking is that it's not that they think they're always perfect or anything, but they have their own self worth, self value that continues. Sometimes they might question if their beauty is not certainly there. They focus on their personalities a lot. Men don't really like to look in depth and understand that women came from a different place. They recently got more, like, over time, are getting more rights and getting more fulfilled by it. And who's to say women or men control the system? I wouldn't say either, because nobody's really controlling the system. It's not exactly politics that's controlling the system, not exactly religion, not exactly our mentality, our conscientious self. So there's that. Now, a new and more resolving perspective I want to talk about is my new perception on love and how love can grow and be transformed, as well as hypergamy can be seen in different ways, have different alterations of how you see hypergamy. One high for a woman is similar high for another. They really are sort of after the same men, but not exactly, because I believe certain types of women do marry in the middle, and have their own lives, because I haven't really seen a lot of women in my life that would go after rich people, because I've never really met a lot of rich people. Most rich people I met are a little bit alone, don't have really much to themselves. But who's to say that that's the truth? Because over online on YouTube and all this sort of stuff, I guess that I've seen a lot of YouTubers having one girlfriend after another, that obviously beautiful, but beauty can be measured in different ways. And after these a few years of learning and stuff, I was able to encounter a different point of view on beauty, personality, and stuff. It seems that people from before that I wouldn't consider attractive, I consider more attractive as the years go on. Obviously, it doesn't matter, because I don't really, I don't really pay much attention to it. Basically, like, for example, I haven't watched porn in like a week because I haven't been feeling that it really gets me anywhere. And other than that, I've been working on my mental focus, my mental self. I've been studying like different things regarding how computers work, math, and other stuff. So that's great for me. Yeah, this right here in this territory, this is me talking about my own private life, what I deal with, the things I focus on, where it's getting me, and this gratification, which is not necessarily positioned like in linearity in a sense. I like to be a little bit more freer, in recognizing that the more free you get, the more you realize you are sort of part of something. But when you define it as a system, when you define it as a society, when you define it as a culture, when you define it as nature, all that sort of stuff, it doesn't really explain in detail what the focus is on. And look at that, already 7 minutes, and it felt like way longer. And that's what I love about doing videos like this, constructive perspectives. It really helps the perspective of focusing very maturely on things that in your surroundings, all this sort of stuff. It's really good. It's great to take things like slowly, not necessarily step by step, not necessarily like any linear path or any of that, but continuing where I'm going on this perspective and this character and scenarios of certain not venerations or any of that, but more like a gratifying way of looking without a sense of enlightenment. I don't really agree with the prospects of enlightenment. I don't really agree with the prospects of believing you can achieve your own perception like any sort of person, or any sort of idealistic perception. I believe and I think that us staying in a sort of sameness while changing in a certain way is actually beautiful. And I regard that as a very useful to think about. Okay, I'm gonna continue because I just zoned out for a bit and I'm back. Sometimes I do that. I zone out, and I'm like, "Whoa, how did I get here?" That's how it feels sometimes. I don't know why. I'm gonna switch this hat around. So, what do you want to think about? What do you want to go with these perspectives of Skater Novus 91? All in all, it's like not necessarily an adventure, not necessarily a story or a plot. This type of place that we're in this bubble where we can communicate and be in, like, think similarly in such a way that we're more independent in our own values. It's not similarity in a way that you think because every other person thinks in a different way. We're not exactly the same. We are not. So I must honor that everybody should have their own way of thinking, and that's beautiful. Now, ending this video on a topic which I was gonna go on is that obviously looking at hypergamy and everything we talked about on it, about high qualityness and all that stuff, depending on how women think, they might consider other things high quality. Not all of them are after the same type of men, but it seems that men might think that, but it's because of culture, not because of the woman, not because of the men. It's also culture for the men, culture for the women, whatever is popular at the time, whatever is a niche. You have to understand that you have to get more and more in depth into your environment, into your nature a little bit, not too much, but understand what is real and what is a partial truth. That's all I got to say for now. Skater Nova signing off. Thank you.